There's something happening right now that your brain is running 24 hours a day. A calculation so ancient, so deeply wired into your nervous system that you cannot turn it off. It activates the moment another person looks directly at you. And for 300,000 years, getting that calculation wrong meant you died. Most people think eye contact is just a social niety, something polite people do, something confident people are good at. They're wrong. Eye contact is not a social skill. It is a survival system. And the reason it feels so intense, so electric, so uncomfortable, sometimes even unbearable, is because your brain is not processing it as a greeting. It is processing it as a threat assessment. Here is what is actually happening inside your skull the moment someone's eyes lock onto yours. Your brain fires a structure called the superior colliculus, one of the oldest parts of the human brain, shared with fish, reptiles, and every mammal on Earth. It does one thing. It detects whether something is looking at you or away from you. Not faces, not expressions, just gaze direction. This system is so primitive, so fast, that it activates before you are even consciously aware that someone is looking at you. Before the thinking part of your brain knows anything is happening, your body has already begun to respond. Heart rate shifts, skin conductance rises, the amygdala, your brain's threat detector, lights up like a fire alarm, all from two eyes pointing in your direction. Now, ask yourself, why would evolution build something this sensitive, this fast, this automatic? The answer goes back further than you think. For the overwhelming majority of human history, being looked at by something meant one of three things. A predator had spotted you, a rival had challenged you, or someone wanted something from you that you might not want to give. There was almost no fourth option. Your ancestors lived in open savanna environments where a direct, sustained gaze from another animal was almost universally a signal of predatory intent. Lions do not make eye contact with things they are not interested in hunting. Neither do leopards, neither did the rival tribes your ancestors competed with for food, water, and mates. The humans who didn't react to direct gaze, who didn't feel that spike of alertness, that sudden shift in attention, didn't survive to pass their genes forward. You are the descendant of every human who felt it, which means the discomfort you feel right now in a meeting room, on a first date, in an elevator with a stranger, that is not a flaw in your social wiring. That is 300,000 years of survival code running exactly as designed. But here is where it gets darker. Because humans didn't just inherit this system, we became the only species on Earth to weaponize it against each other. Look at the eye of a chimpanzee, or a gorilla, or almost any other primate on Earth. Their irises fill almost the entire visible eye. The whites, what scientists call the sclera, are barely visible. This is not an accident. Concealing gaze direction is a survival advantage. If a chimpanzee can move its eyes without revealing where it's looking, it is harder to read, harder to deceive, harder to ambush. Almost every primate evolved this way for exactly this reason. Then look at a human eye. The white sclera is enormous, wildly, almost absurdly visible. You can tell exactly where a human is looking from across a room, from a distance, in low light. For decades, scientists assumed this was an evolutionary mistake, a random mutation that simply hadn't been selected away yet. Then, the cooperative eye hypothesis emerged. The theory, developed by researchers Michael Tomlinson and Joseph Kahl, proposed something radical. Humans evolved visible sclera on purpose, not as a mistake, as a communication system. In small cooperative hunter-gatherer groups, being able to silently signal, "Look over there," with nothing but a glance, was a profound advantage. Coordinating a hunt without sound, warning a child without moving, directing attention across a camp in total silence. The visible eye became a tool. But tools can be turned, because the same system that allowed your ancestors to cooperate in silence also made every human on Earth permanently, involuntarily readable. You cannot hide where you are looking, and everyone around you knows it. Every human culture on Earth, without exception, has developed social rules around eye contact. Not similar rules, the same rules. Sustained eye contact from a dominant individual signals authority, challenge, or threat. Gaze aversion from a subordinate signals submission, deference, non-aggression. This pattern appears in ancient Rome, in feudal Japan, in indigenous Australian communities, in the courts of European monarchs, in modern American boardrooms. It is not cultural. It is not learned. It is biological dominance hierarchy being expressed through the most sensitive threat detection system in the human body. When a stranger holds eye contact slightly too long, you don't think that's rude. You feel something animal and immediate, something closer to that's dangerous. Your body knows what your mind refuses to label. And here is what makes this truly unsettling. The people who understand this system, consciously or intuitively, use it. Negotiators are trained to hold gaze to project certainty. Interrogators are trained to use sustained eye contact to destabilize subjects. Cult leaders, historically, have been described by survivors using one word more than almost any other: their eyes. Now here's the part nobody is talking about. For 300,000 years, the human gaze system was calibrated in a very specific environment: small groups, known faces, eye contact that was rare, meaningful, and high stakes. In a hunter-gatherer band of 50 people, you might experience a dozen significant eye contact moments in a day. Each one carried real social information, real consequence. Then the modern world arrived. Today, the average American makes eye contact with dozens of strangers every single day, on the subway, in offices, in grocery stores, on streets, all of them unknown, all of them triggering the same ancient assessment system, none of them resolving into anything meaningful. Your brain is running a threat detection algorithm designed for 50 people inside a city of 3 million. And then came the screen. The smartphone did something no invention in human history had ever done before. It gave the human gaze system a target that never looks back. You can stare at a screen for 6 hours and your threat detector never fires once. There is no eye contact, no assessment, no vulnerability, no risk. And the brain, which always optimizes for low cost, high reward, began to prefer it. Research now shows that teenagers who grew up as the first generation of heavy smartphone users demonstrate measurably reduced ability to hold and interpret eye contact compared to every previous generation studied. They are not shy. They are not anxious because something went wrong with them. They are the first humans in 300,000 years to grow up without calibrating the most ancient threat detection system in the human body. And the result, the anxiety, the disconnection, the sense that something is deeply wrong in rooms full of people, is not a mystery. It is a system running without training data. The next time eye contact makes you uncomfortable, and it will, notice what your body does. The split-second assessment, the decision, the shift. That is not anxiety. That is the oldest software in the human nervous system doing exactly what it was built to do. The question is no longer whether the system works. The question is what happens to a species when it starts to opt out of it. Drop your answer in the comments. I genuinely want to know what you think.